Please read us a story, old bear. We'll all gather round. Dear old bear, sit in your favorite chair. We'll sit all around dear old bear.
One afternoon, Old Bear was standing on a chair in the playroom, sorting through a basket of bits and pieces. "I don't think we'll ever use these now," he said. "They've been in the basket for years. Shall we clear them out to make room for something else?" "Let's see whether there's anything useful in there," said Bramwell Brown. "I'll help you get the basket down." They were just about to lower down the basket when something strange ran into the room, shouting, "Help! Help! Help!" in a muffled sort of way. Old Bear and Bramwell turned round in surprise. The chair wobbled, and down went the basket, spilling half its contents over the strange creature. "What was that?" asked Old Bear. "I think it's an elephant dressed in Little Bear's trousers," said Bramwell. Together they rummaged through the heap on the floor and rescued the surprise visitor. Old Bear took hold of what seemed to be a sock and pulled very hard. Out popped the top half of Little Bear, looking very hot and bothered. "Oh, thank you." "Little Bear," said Bramwell, rather puzzled. "Why were you wearing a sock on your head?" "I was playing dressing up," said Little Bear, "but I got stuck and couldn't see where I was going." "Dressing up?" repeated Bramwell Brown thoughtfully. "What a good idea. Why don't we all dress up? There are plenty of bits and pieces here." Bramwell tipped out the rest of the basket. As the three toys began looking through, Jolly Tall and Duck arrived, pulling Rabbit and Zebra along in a wooden cart. "What are you doing with all those bits?" asked Jolly. "We are going to play dressing up," said Little Bear excitedly. "Can we play too?" asked Jolly. "Oh, yes," cried Little Bear. "Then we can have a fancy dress competition." "If we're going to have a competition, we'll need a judge," said Duck. "I'll be the judge," volunteered Old Bear. "I'm sure nothing here would fit me anyway." "What will we have for a prize?" asked Zebra. Old Bear thought for a moment. Then he rummaged about in the heap of odds and ends. "The prize will be a surprise." He filled a little bag with something, put it on the cart, and pulled it out of the room. Little Bear dived into the odds and ends. He found a lolly stick and a pair of trousers, even baggier than his own. "Here you are, Rabbit, some pirate trousers, and you can use this lolly stick as a sword." "Ha-ha, me hearties!" shouted Rabbit, swinging his sword and looking very fierce. "Very good, Rabbit," said Bramwell Brown. "I'll just find you something to tie round your head." Bramwell picked up a long, stripy scarf and wound it round and round. "There," he said, "you look just like a real pirate. Now, I wonder what I could be." Suddenly, he saw a long piece of sparkly material. "Oh, look at this," he said, pulling it out from the pile. "It would make a lovely cloak, and here's a sort of crown. I could be a king." "Oh, can I be a king too?" said Little Bear, looking longingly at the sparkly material. "I could make a crown." "Me too," said Jolly. "You can't all be kings," said Duck. "That would be silly. It isn't a best king competition." "Oh, all right," said Little Bear. "I'll be No, wait a minute." And rolling up a piece of material, he dashed out of the playroom. While Little Bear was gone, the others looked through the rest of the bits and pieces. Bramwell pulled out a small red and white spotted umbrella. "There you are, Jolly," he said. "You could be a toadstool." "I think he's a bit tall for a toadstool," said Rabbit. "Well, what about, a flower?" His face framed with a frilly pink tutu. "Quite nice," said Rabbit, "but I think you'd be better as a tree, if we could find some leaves." "You could use this," said Duck, holding up some green paper. Bramwell volunteered to cut out some leaves for Jolly. When he'd finished, he hung them from his ears. "That's better," said Bramwell. When he stood very still, he did look quite like a tree. Then Bramwell set about making his king costume. Meanwhile, Rabbit had found a little bag with a drawstring. Inside, there were lots of pretty seashells. "Look, Zebra," he cried, "I know just what you can be." A seahorse?" suggested Zebra, staring at the shells. "Not quite," said Rabbit. "A unicorn. You could wear one of these long shells as your horn." "Oh, are unicorns stripy?" asked Zebra. "No, I think you should cover up your stripes," said Rabbit. At that moment, a ghostly voice came from behind the door. "Ooh," it went, and a figure in white appeared in the room. All the toys tried to hide behind each other as the little figure drifted along until it bumped into the sofa and finally landed in King Bramwell's lap. "I'm a ghost," said a little bear sort of voice from underneath the white sheet. "We can see that now," said Jolly. "It's a very good costume. You had us fooled for a minute." "He didn't fool me," muttered Duck. "Anyone could tell it was Little Bear dressed up." "That white material is just what I need for my costume," said Zebra. "Is there any left over?" "Plenty," said Little Bear. "I'll go and fetch some." Little Bear helped Zebra make a white cloak to hide her stripes, and Bramwell finished making himself a sparkly cloak for his king costume. "I can't seem to think of anything," said Duck. "Nothing fits." "Is there anything left in the basket?" asked Bramwell. Duck stuck his head in. "Nothing," he said. "There's just the basket, and I can't wear that." "But you are wearing it," laughed Bramwell. "You look just like a tortoise." "Do I?" said Duck. "Really?" "Yes," said Rabbit. "The upside-down basket makes a wonderful tortoise shell. It's just the right shape." "I haven't got the right number of legs, though," grumbled Duck. "Tortoises have 4, and I've only got 2. "Oh, I don't think Old Bear will notice," said Zebra. "After all, the tree has 4. All the toys helped each other put the finishing touches to their costumes. Then a king, a ghost, a tortoise, a unicorn, a pirate, and a very tall tree trooped out of the playroom to find Old Bear. They found Old Bear in the kitchen, where he'd been very busy. He had decorated the cart with ribbons and paper flowers and other odds and ends from his bag of bits. "It looks beautiful, Old Bear," said Bramwell Brown, "but what is it?" "It's called a float," said Old Bear. "The winner of the fancy dress competition stands on it, and all the others pull it along." "Ooh!" squeaked the ghost, flapping his arms up and down excitedly. "Hurry up and start the judging, please, Old Bear." Old Bear sat himself in his favourite chair, and the toys began to parade around in a circle. Bramwell Brown looked very important and king-like as he swung his cloak around him. But just as they were going round for the second time, Bramwell's crown suddenly slipped down over his eyes. His foot caught in his cloak, and he sat down bump in a very unking-like way. Rabbit, who was bounding along behind Bramwell, had to take an extra leap to avoid him, and landed halfway up the jolly tall tree. The tortoise and the unicorn bumped into Bramwell, but the ghost, who couldn't see very well in his costume, carried on running about, making ooh noises. Old Bear began to clap. "Well done, everyone," he said. "I didn't know you were going to do a show as well." "It was a bit of a surprise for us, too," muttered the tortoise. "Who won, Old Bear?" asked Rabbit, as he scrambled down the neck of the tree. "You all have," said Old Bear. "I couldn't possibly choose between you." It was a bit of a squeeze, but there was just enough room on the float for everyone. Old Bear had made each of them a beautiful red rosette with the leftover ribbon. "Who would have thought," said Old Bear, as the little troop set off to the playroom, "that so many wonderful costumes could have come out of a basket of bits?"